Hi there, my name's Aaron Short and welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to revisit the Fender Telecaster guitar. Before we begin, I will just say one of my first guitars was a Fender Tele Deluxe. Really cool guitar. It's a Telecaster, but it has the selector switch in a different position, has humbuckers, so it's not quite your classic Telecaster. I did then own a yellow 70s Telecaster for a little while. It was really heavy but really cool. And I sold that and moved over to Strats for about the past 15 years. I really like Stratocasters. I like how they feel. I like how they sound. But I often hear that Telecasters are the way forward, especially for people that play a lot of acoustic guitar. So today I have my hands on a Fender American Pro 2 Telecaster, and I'm going to compare it to a Stratocaster and see if I still feel the same way today as I did 15 years ago or so. Let's get started. All right, so this is a very cool guitar, classic yellow. I love the American Pro 2 series. They really are great instruments. I highly recommend them to everyone. This is your classic Tele. The weight of this is important. It's a light guitar because you don't have all the stuff inside you'd have for the Strat tremolo system. You do have this kind of ashtray holding the single coil pickup. These are both single coil pickups. We have 3 positions. And you do get a fat sound, and that's why a lot of country artists use these and a lot of rock players use these. You get a fat sound from that pickup with the metal underneath it going straight through the body here. And it tends to make the guitars lighter. So I definitely like that. I have to say I don't use a tremolo system that much, and so it's quite nice having everything locked down. It does tend to make the guitar stay in tune well. So let's go through some sounds, and I'll tell you what I think. I'll start with just a clean, and I'll go through the 3 front, middle, and rear. On this particular model, you have a S1 switch, which does some extra things, but I'll just leave it in the classic position for now. Full tone, full volume. Gotta say, I really like it. Also, it's not too noisy. Sometimes single coil guitars can be very noisy. This guitar is pretty quiet. So it's nice. I totally get why people like these. Now, I prefer the extra cut here you get on a Stratocaster myself. That's a big feature for me. That's a big factor for me why I don't play these. The neck is basically the same neck as what you get on a Strat. And the weight on these is usually around 7 pounds. Of course, every piece of wood varies, but that's important to me. A lot of Strats now you see are around 8 pounds. I don't like that. So it ticks a lot of boxes. One thing I noticed here is I didn't understand why when you go to the bridge position, it's right next to the control here. So when I want to switch back again, I find it hard to move back to that position. And of course, you've got 3 positions, not 5 like you would on a Stratocaster. Let me try some distorted tones now. I mean, it sounds great. I do really like it. I'm going to switch over to a classic Strat now so I can tell you more about the differences. But I have to say, this is a really great option for people that want a no-nonsense, big-sounding, stable guitar. All right, so here is a classic SSS single configuration Stratocaster. This one is only 2 ounces heavier, despite having the tremolo system installed. Like I said, you do get the 5 positions here. You get neck, middle, and bridge like on the Tele, but also these 2 and these 2, which are going to be noise cancelling and therefore very quiet. As soon as I pick it up, I notice the neck is the same because it's from the same series of guitars, but I notice this colorway here, and I really do like this. I like how it feels. I like the colorways here too, the kind of bevels they have. It just sits in the body really nicely, and that's very important to me. So straight away, I feel very much at home. Let me see what this one sounds like compared to that one. I hear about the same amount of noise, because again, they're single coil pickups. I think this sounds a bit thinner. These are still 10 gauge strings like the Tele has. It just sounds a bit thinner, but you might like that, you might not. Like I said, it has the tremolo system. If you need a tremolo system, then you have to get a Strat, really, or at least a Telecaster with a tremolo system, right? But these tend to be on Strats more than Telecasters. So I don't tend to use the bar. I like knowing it's there, but I don't really use it. I usually leave it off the guitar. And one issue that will bring up is if you play a string like a drone and then bend a string, you'll hear the drone go out of tune like this. That's because the trem is moving, the trem system is moving. So again, maybe you don't want a trem. One way around that, like John Mayer and Eric Clapton, is to lock this down against the body. So you take this cover off, tighten the springs, and then everything is locked down and it won't move while you're playing at all. So that's one thing you can do with the trem system. You've still got the trem, the added weight and everything, but it's locked against the body and it'll be more like a Tele. Of course, another thing you can do is get an HSS Stratocaster. So this is a humbucker. That humbucker will be fatter, more like the Telecaster. And one other thing you can do, which I'm going to finish with, is to get a hardtail Stratocaster. That's been my choice lately, since I don't use the trem system much. I do like to have a guitar like this with a trem system, but for gigs and things like that, I like to just eliminate that trem system altogether. And what you've got there is basically a kind of hybrid, if you like, of a Tele and a Strat. Not exactly the same, but much closer than this would be. So let's take a look at a hardtail Strat. This is my Fender Mod Shop hardtail Strat. This has been my favorite guitar for a while now. I've had this for a little while. I haven't made a video on it yet, but I will do, so please subscribe and ring the bell to see that video. And this guitar has the same backside as the Telecaster. So the strings go straight through the body. So this is getting much closer to that guitar with the double colorway. This is also the lightest guitar. This is only £7, which is a big plus for me. So I really like this. No trem system. It stays in tune when you bend and play a drone note, unlike the other guitar. Let me just test that for you. I really like that. And let's see if it sounds like the Tele. We'll try it out. So it seems to be punchier, but remember, different wood, different pickups on this one. These are your classic 90s style, kind of brighter Strat pickups. What you could do again is you could put in a humbucker here to compensate, or even change the pickups for more telly-like pickups. But I love this guitar. I have to say, I know we're here for the Telecaster, and I think I do really like it. It definitely sounds different to these, as you'd expect. It does sound fat and stays in tune. And I really like that. But I wanted to include this guitar today because it definitely lives up to the Telly in regards to the bridge and the strings going straight through the guitar. The only thing is, it still doesn't have that fat sound of the Telly, but it is as light, it does stay in tune as well, and it does have the extra pickup position. So for me, I still prefer this guitar, but the Telecaster really did impress me. So to finish up today, what I'll do is I'll play all those recordings back to back, because I don't know, I might change my mind when I hear them like that. It's very hard to compare things when you're taking a break between each instrument. All these guitars are awesome. You can't go wrong with any of them. If you can have all of them, then you should do. If I have to pick one, which is what I'm doing at the moment, I'm going to pick the hardtail Strat for what I do. If I change my mind after listening back to the 3 guitars, I will add a note at the end of the video to let you know, or I'll let you know in the comments below when I've had a few days to think about it. Please do the same. Write in the comments what you think of these sounds. Which guitar do you like? Which guitar do you own? And if you're new here, please subscribe and ring the bell. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and be well. Bye-bye.